So, this is what has been going on recently. This is the urban simulation. There's a problem with the urban simulation, and that is that I want to include open doors and rooms, and unfortunately, the format is ideally suited for providing this output, and then you've got the London 1940 format, which is a completely different JSON. Well, not completely different JSON format, but they're not compatible JSON formats. And if you see here, for example, simulated windows, simulated doors, the primitives aren't even used anymore. It's simulated room, which is just a set of points, which works very well for London 1940. Not so much for the urban simulation, not so much for agents moving around rooms and opening and closing doors. So I need to reintroduce the simulated windows, simulated doors, allow the door to not just have a location and some points. Location is here north, south, east, west. Basically, all the locations are north, south, east, west. They're just determinations based on a relative location, which is easy for the buildings as well because you can make the doors open outwards if you know the center of the building. You can then make a determination of whether all the doors will open outwards, which is what you want, I think, for fire fire safety reasons as well. Amongst any other reason that you would simulate London 1940s, make sure that all the doors opened outwards so people could flee in the case of fire. Anyway, so it's about reintroducing simulated doors, simulated windows, allow the doors to be open, and then put back into this format. So what we're seeing currently with the flashing is just whether or not the visibility of the apes is actually intersecting with here fences, they move past fences, this kind of stuff. So this is quite a mature simulation for doing London 1940. It just needs to change the underlying points and just basically what the primitive format is. So I'm thinking of writing just a format input, format output, format stays the same, and then getting the London 1940 stuff to conform with it. Now this obviously has trees, streets, fences, and the internals of buildings and buildings themselves as well. So this is basically, let's move it up a bit, move it around, do a zoom in, move it up a little bit. So these are the buildings basically. They have central hallways and windows facing out in various directions. So obviously the simulated apes can see through the windows, and ideally we'll be able to open and close the doors. So what have I shown here? I've shown the format. And yeah, so this is basically where I'm at currently, rewriting the urban simulation. You can get to the urban simulation at apesdk.com as a start, or gitlab.com/apesdk/urban-planet. And the urban simulation is part of the urban and planet simulation, both which run with the Ape SDK as the center. So, or the central, whatever, source code. So anyway, that's where I'm at currently, just doing maintenance. Well, not really maintenance, just making sure the format will be compatible with London 1940 and take it in that direction. Obviously, in London 1940, you have the external structures of the buildings, but you don't have windows, you don't have doors, you don't have any internals, and I wanted to use some of the internal methods that I use with the urban simulation with London 1940 as well. So everything needs to be rewritten a little bit, and this is what's taking my time currently. Tom Barbalet in Las Vegas, Nevada, signing out.